Yeah. Pull up a chair, kick the dust off your boots. You're right where you belong, from back rows to bright lights, front porch to prime time. Coffee on the table, yeah, we talking all night. Laugh lines, hard times, stories get told. If you've been there, done that, yeah, you already know. No suits, no scripts, just truth in the room. Different points of view, but we all break through. From the wins to the losses, every scar, every mile. If it's real, bring it here, pull up and sit a while. No filters, no fake, just voices, just faith. Everybody got a seat at the table we made. Welcome to Bubba's Round Table, where the truth hits hard and the laughs stay fatal. Different roads, but we all been able to find our way home when the talk gets real. Yeah, it don't matter where you came from, if you broke or you made one. Pull up close, let the story unfold. This is Bubba's Round Table. Been a long way up, been a long way down. Had my back to the wall, still stood my ground. Real ones around me, yeah, we built this thing. From late night talks to a microphone drain. Opinions fly fast, but respect stays strong. We can disagree and still get along. If you're living that life or you're chasing that flame, got a voice at the table, say it loud, say it plain. No mask, no shade, just real that stays. Every seat full, every word got weight. Welcome to Bubba's Round Table, where the good times roll and the bomb stays stable. From the backwoods nights to the city label, everybody's welcome, yeah, we all stay real. Raise a glass, tell the truth, let it all unfold. This is home for the hearts that are tried and bold. Yeah, this is Bubba's Round Table. We don't need permission, we don't need a name, just a seed, a voice, and a spark to flame. If you've been unheard, if you've been alone, this table's built strong, yeah, it's carved in stone. Round table. Welcome to Bubba's Round Table, where the stories live on and the truth won't fade, no. Pull that chair close, yeah, you already know. This is family now, welcome home. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bubba's Roundtable. I am your host, Bubba Mike. Guys, we got some different topics today. It's a different type of podcast. Okay, it's a different type. All right. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of the podcast, though, make sure you guys go and hit that like button, hit the share button, hit the comment, and make sure, please, hit that sub button. Make sure the little bell icon is on. That was worth a sub right there. Guys, the topics of today, kind of some goofy ones, and then and then we're gonna go and bring them back to the reality, and then we're gonna go and hey, you know, bring it back, get a little sensitive. Guys, it's we're coming up here pretty quick. We're about to be episode 9. I think for the 10th episode, we're gonna do something special. If you guys watch this episode to the very end, make sure you put the letter M. I'm gonna quiz you guys at the end of it. Make sure you guys are remembering. All right. So with that being said, guys, going getting right on into the topics. Animals you would absolutely not fight. The most dramatic pets ever. Animals that could realistically beat a human. Smartest animals ranked. And then this is where we bring it in. Pressures of being the strong one in the family. And then finally to wrap it up, handling criticism publicly. Guys, we're gonna go with the top one right off the bat. I'm not fighting. Listen. I'm a big guy, Chad. I mean, we about 6 foot, 380. You know, we're a big guy. We're called Bubba for a reason. All right. But even in my prime, I don't think there'd be a couple animals I would not fight. I wouldn't fight a grizzly bear. Wouldn't fight a gorilla unless there was like 100 people with me. I wouldn't fight a lion, a tiger, cheetah, a mountain lion. You know, a hippopotamus, a rhino. You know, there's a lot of animals. Hell, a giraffe. The giraffe gets that big ass neck swinging, witty. You know, just beating the dog shit out of you. You know, it's a monkey by itself, like one monkey. You you probably could. Not a chimpanzee, just like a normal ass monkey. But like even so, they're gonna be faster than you. You know, you're gonna be scratched up. They probably bite the shit out of you. But for me personally, I could probably fight off one monkey. Um, wolves I wouldn't want to fight, anything like that. It's a different ball game when it comes around to that stuff. Um, and I can't an alligator. I wouldn't want to face an alligator or a crocodile. Obviously, you ain't fighting no snakes because unless it's a python or a non-venomous snake, um, Komodo dragon, kiss my ass. They're pretty much Godzilla. Um, what else? I mean, there's a whole bunch of a black bear. Black bear, I think I could handle my own on, but I would still get pretty messed up. I do believe, and it would not be pretty either way. Um, Kangaroo. I don't think I would want to get kicked by a kangaroo. Um, there's a lot of animals I wouldn't want to fight, especially like the bigger animals. They got a lot of armor around them, like a hippo, or an elephant, rhino. You know, uh, there's only like crocodiles or alligators. There's only one spot to go and kill a crocodile or an alligator, and it's in the back of their head, because their skin's like leather. So it'd be pretty hard to go and get your hands around them, and try to do what you can. I mean, people do that. I mean, if you can sneak up on an alligator and jump on its back and hurry up and close its mouth, maybe, but maybe like a little itty bitty alligator that's like this big. It's probably about all I would fight. Um, I know. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different animals that I wouldn't fight just because of the simple fact is that you're not gonna come out unscathed in any fight, honestly. But those would probably be the animals I wouldn't fight. The most dramatic pet ever, a fucking Chihuahua. So I got one. Um, that or a husky. You know, some cats, they get scared or whatever, but possum, possum. I mean, they're not really pets, but they play dead. It's a survival instinct thing, isn't it? It could be um considered dramatic. animals that could really realistically beat a human. Any primate like orangutan, gorilla, you know, like any type of monkey. I would guess, except for like the little monkeys, but you never know with even those. Um, lions, tigers. You wouldn't wanna go and get hit by an emu or an ostrich. Sorry guys, I don't know why I'm yawning so much, but they even got talons on their feet. Um, pigs, wild hog. Like a real wild hog. They got like husk and stuff. Look like the guy off of the Lion King. I'm Mr. Pig. That's my impression. Um, those probably be the animals that would probably mess up a human pretty quick. It kind of goes with the people, the ones that you wouldn't want to fight. Um, Smartest animal ranks. So I'm probably going to go elephant number one because they got a great memory, comparable to humans, I guess. Primates, monkeys or anything like that. Dogs. We'll go off five. Dogs. Hmm. I mean, they use dogs for war. German or not German shoulder, German shepherds. They use those for cop dogs. They've been trained for them. German Malawi's. I mean, they're dogs are pretty intelligent. Drug sniffing dogs, bomb sniffing dogs. Um, Yet they wouldn't be on the top hand of them, but squirrels are pretty smart because they got to remember where they buried their nuts. I'd probably put them at like 15. Deer, I would say pretty much any type of deer. They're pretty smart, whether it's over in Africa or you know um, or over here in the states. They sniff out people, predators. Like, they can sense that type of stuff. It's honestly kind of hard to go and judge how smart animals are because like every animal's different for their environment. But I would probably say the top three would probably be you know elephants, dogs, primates. Any type of monkey. I'd probably say those are probably in the top three smartest animals. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm gonna rank them at. The pressures of being the strong one, I understand this real well. There's immense type of pressure on being a strong one in the family because everyone turns to you and looks for answers to you. Um, it's you carry a lot of weight on your shoulders, especially since I'm the oldest son, and they say a lot more. They're the people that are depressed the most is the oldest son because we set the bar and example how high we should be other than your parents. Um, what to do, what not to do, don't follow off the same mistakes, stuff like that. Being the strong one in the family, you're always called upon when stuff goes bad, and that's can be considered as as being like a black sheep in the family. You know, we're kind of like a nomad. We roam by ourselves, and we don't really seek a whole lot of attention to certain things. I guess I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. I'm not a not a therapist or a psychiatrist or anything like that. I mean, it's just different. That's why I'm gonna leave it at that. This is different. And then handling criticism publicly, guys. This is pretty big when it comes to like athletes because you can either handle it publicly in two different ways. You can lash out and go and like now tweet against fucking different type of people. You can go and make a negative post. You could it could change how you how you are as a person when it comes to like how you train or how you take like a loss or how you bounce back. And if you're a defensive person, you lash out real fast and you don't know how to take it and you get angry about it. But then when you have time to go and process everything, you know it's uh it's definitely different. um yeah, but when it comes down to handling um criticism publicly, you could either stew in it or learn from the mistakes or whatever you need, or be humble enough to take whatever information that you got. you know um it is a type of big thing to where, like, you know if you take it and you don't learn anything from it, then it's going to be the same critique. Or if you take it and then you just you know you learn from that mistake and you're like, oh shit, this person was actually right. And then people that go and get mad, you're sitting there and like, what does this guy know about what I do? How do you do it? Are you in his shoes? Are you doing this? Yada yada yada. And then you're um, just sitting there stewing and festering for no reason. And a lot of people have that hard time of taking it, and it takes a little bit of humility, that's for sure. Um, you got to be able to swallow your pride and take the example and the lessons from other people that have have given you. Um, because they probably learned it and they probably learned from that mistake and they don't want you to make the same mistakes. And that kind of ties into like being a young kid too, like your dumb teenage years where you know everything and stuff like that. And it's just, it's definitely different. It's definitely something that needs attention to, like how to be able to handle it, how to handle that pressure too. Because if you're, anybody, even if you're a famous person, you lash out and then it's like, well, you got a lawsuit. you know, um, you can sit there and fester and stew over it, or just be bygones, and learn from it and learn how to fix your mistakes. You know, um, but this is pretty much like what all I had, for today, guys. It's little short, sweet podcast like the other one was. Um, we are going to possibly try and get 3 out for starting this month. We're going to try to do a 3 week Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We're going to see how that turns out. And we're going to go from there. Um, I'm going to try to have some guests on too, as best I can. And we'll see, how it goes and how everything works out for it to be. But with that being said, guys, if you watch to the end of it, make sure you put a letter M in the comments. Well, make sure you hit that like button, the comment, that letter M. You hit the share button, and then just please, it's free. Hit the sub button. Turn the bell notifications on. So that way you never miss an episode of this big, ugly, fat guy. All right, guys. Much love, and I'll leave you with this. The world isn't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a mean and dirty place. And it'll beat you to your knees and keep you there. If you can name that movie, prize for you. All right. Much love, guys. And until next time, we'll see you in the next one.